What is going on? I'm Zedmont. 1 million diamonds at headquarters level 10. That is how you know we are on the dev build. Also, how you know is that code Zedmont does not work. It just refuses because it knows I would just use fake money to get all of the things. Nonetheless, weird things happening. This is the dev build. We've got a big update coming, and they have finally not ignored the main base. Now, when you first get this update, which should come Tuesday, Wednesday next week, by the way, should, never know, app stores, YouTube, Apple, Google, Supercell, blah, blah, blah. I opened this up and I couldn't figure out how to do anything. I was trying to find the path of glory because I wanted to show you guys something awesome, but I couldn't find that. I couldn't find the settings button, and so I just went clicking. So as soon as you open this, you got to go to that top left-hand corner. They've moved some stuff up there, made things far less busy on the screen, which I give them kudos to, but I feel like every update they change where things are. So suddenly, if you want to change Supercell accounts, you got to go up there, and then it is an extra click, but it's out of the way now. Stuff's just kind of in the drawer. How that's going to work for Warships, I can't show you because season 72 is over. So I assume everything's going to be up there somewhere in Warships, but you're going to have to wait and come back. Now, talking about the path of glory, we are at headquarters level 10. I do that for my Warships sneakage of the peakage. And I had a chat with the developers and I said, you know what, Captain Rudy, we need to bring him. There's a gap. I made a video about this and they said, Zed, sorry, we're not doing it. Would you be okay? This is fully tongue-in-cheek, but they actually said this. If we were to put him at headquarters level 24. So Captain Ruddero coming at headquarters level 24. Big news to the main island. And if we scroll back a little bit, Rocket Choppas at headquarters level 23. Rocket Choppas are now a permanent troop on the main base. Now, I am super stoked at that because Rocket Choppas are probably the most balanced of the proto troops. You have lots of fun with them, but they also have low health. They can fly over stuff, but they have medium damage. So really excited to see how many people start using Rocket Choppas as their main troop, but let's keep clicking through things. Training grounds. Notice there are now training grounds. I'm going to jump all over the place. I will have individual videos for many of these things, probably. And there are going to be training grounds and commanders crash courses trying to get people to do things. And if you do them, you get time savers. And notice that riflemen must be loaded. You have to have 2 boats loaded, so we will add a second boat of riflemen. We'll use diamonds to finish that, even though we probably don't need to. And then going back up there into the training grounds, let's click attack, and they're going to show us what to do. We need to get rid of that and that, so we'll drop that. We're going to get our abilities done. We are super duper good at this. We'll just throw all of our barrage. Probably should have dropped brick as well. You don't actually have to use riflemen. We could have done this with just artillery and barrage, but you do have to have them loaded, which will take a second or two. We get some rewards, and now we are on the training grounds part 2. And it's going to talk about heavies to absorb damage and rifles to do the damage, which I'm not a huge fan of because heavy rifle is a terrible combo, but I do love what they're doing here as far as training people to think a little bit, because there are some, if you ever watch replays on your base, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we are going to load some heavies, and you're going to see some weirdness here because heavy load times have changed. Heavy load times now vary based on your headquarters level, or possibly your heavy level. I think it's actually your heavy level. The writing here, I didn't read it fully. I skimmed it. Should have used AI to summarize it, but heavy level 1 only takes 40 seconds to load, all the way down to heavy level 17 taking 360 seconds. So speeding things up a teeny tiny bit for low level players, trying to make things a little bit better for all of those players. And speaking of low levels, they've also changed a bunch of things as far as like your residence. You can get second residence at headquarters level 2 instead of headquarters level 4. little things that you probably don't care about all that much, but they have gotten things a little bit better for low-level players, which is a huge barrier to entry, so kudos to the Supercell devs for that. One other item they have changed is Dr. T. Dr. T now scales according to how strong you are, how many times you beat it. Okay, now having upgraded to headquarters level 23, you'll notice that we can only get one Rocket Choppa per boat, which I assume is intentional, gonna make you want to get up to that next level, which is going to give you an extra Rocket Choppa, which does require headquarters level 24. So things start to take off around headquarters level 23. You see what I did there? Flying troops. But notice that we do not have Ruddero. And some of you might be saying, well, how the heck do we get him? Because all the other heroes, you have to open up some clouds to go find him. So in order to answer that question, we'll be doing that in a second. First, though, I wanted to show you they've made Gearheart a little bit different. Notice that it shows Gearheart on fire, little flames on the roof for whatever reason. And what that's to tell you is that there is persistent damage, which is handy because some people don't know when the persistent damage is there, when you use 5 attacks or when you don't. So little bit of improvement. And now that we've jumped ahead 2 full days, if we have a look at Dr. T's tropical island, notice that it's the current threat is set to 13. Now, they call this the permanent threat, which is super confusing, but basically threat 1 is roughly meant to be a challenge for headquarters level 5. It goes up every time you beat it by 1, and there are better and better and better rewards until, that is, you reach threat level 26. There is no limit how high you can go, but you stop getting better rewards after rank 26. Sort of like you don't get more diamonds after Dead End or whatever it might be. So notice that players have been playing this a lot bit. So Stoneheart on the dev build, doing lots and lots and lots of Dr. T. And so just for sheer ridiculousness, I have upgraded the current threat to 473. We are going to have a scout and see what the heck that even means. Doesn't look all that hard, but again, this is Dr. T threat 473. You're used to seeing Dr. T 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are now on 473, and we have no statues, so we are probably going to fizzle, but that is going to be okay. So you see, all of a sudden, we're going to drop all this stuff and all of our Rocket Choppas just get absolutely obliterated. But thanks to the dev build, I have the ability to just win. So we have won. We lost all our troops. We did basically 0 damage, but we have moved up to Dr. T threat 474. So we have a look here, and suddenly we're still on 473, but we're on island number 2, which is kind of confusing. So that's going to take a little bit of getting used to for certain. But if we have a look over here, the building health is at 1,573%. The building damage is at 524%. This is not your grandpa's Dr. T. So very, very interesting there. And now, quick note, when you're in the middle of the Dr. T event, you can see that leaderboard. I am up number 1 because I beat stage 473, Code Zmot number 1. Now, will that have its own fancy trophy? I don't know. I don't think there's actually any reward except for being at the top of the leaderboard. So this is one of those ones where future time zones are going to have an advantage. You will be able to get up to the top. You don't want to sleep through the Dr. T one day because then you'll never be able to regain your leaderboard spot. Going to be somewhat interesting to see how many people latch onto that. Now, here's the deal. Once that is gone, once you beat all 7 stages, you can't find it any longer. So what you need to do in that case is come back into here, into your little clicky majigger, and you can find the leaderboards in there, apparently. Okay, we have just finished stage 6, and you'll notice that all of a sudden I'm at Dr. T threat 478. somewhere in there it bumped up. I'm not entirely sure when the heck that even happened, but we have bumped up. And I think what's happening is down here on the scout scene, it says current threat 473, but because we're on threat 479, all of these details have bumped us up. And if we look at that leaderboard, every single one I've beaten, I got 100 points for, I do believe. Again, don't quote me on this. Lots of little details here. I'll probably do a video for each of these things. Just wanted to give you a little taste of what's going on, though. And as stage 7 of 7, threat 479 goes down, we are going to see what happens to that leaderboard, because that was a complaint and they will fix it and make it better. But now you're like, am I global number 1? Am I at 500? Where am I at? And you can't find it anywhere. So they say it can be accessed from the event sidebar. So if you want to check where you're at, you need to click over here on that far right-hand side, right about there. That's going to give you access to the details. And then you can click over onto here. And apparently, yeah, there we go. So sorry, I was clicking a little bit willy-nilly. On that little green button, you can see where you're at on that leaderboard. So a little bit of a pain. They will make it better, but for the second, that's where it's at. And if you're saying, Zed, I don't want to do stage 479. Well, I've got good news that Dr. T's Volcano has its own threat level. So maybe you want to push hard on Tropical, but not Volcano. They have separate threat levels, but we're going to skip ahead 6 whole days. And I realized I didn't have to go 6 days because Dr. T happens twice a week. But right about here on this leaderboard, you have the option to downgrade. And that's where that button right about there that looks like a crossed out leaderboard comes into play. So if you don't want to deal with difficulty and you just want the rewards, and you're like, the rewards don't get any higher after threat 27, 26, 26. So why the heck am I doing this? By all means, go into that leaderboard, click that button and click activate, and down you go. So back we are to threat level 26. Same rewards, just much, much, much easier. But when you come back a couple days later, you're back at the right threat level. So that way you have the option to go down a little bit, get some free resources without resetting your leaderboard position. You'll notice that it says you won't gain progress, but bases will be easier. And it says only for today's event. So some days, if you're just not feeling it, you just want to throw artillery and barrage towards the headquarters. That's all you do. So if we have, and someone will figure out the math of how these things scale, but for right now, we're looking at 1,620% building health. And if we come back into that leaderboard and say nope, and then we scout it again, we come in and suddenly it is 129%. So much, much, much easier rewards for sure. And you know what? Now that we've got those rewards, let's get our headquarters upgraded. We will diamond finish that because we've got a couple of them. And then suddenly we're done. And now we're wondering, Rudy, where are you, Rudy? Rudy should be out there somewhere. How the heck do we find you, Mr. Ruddero? Our map is clear. I don't see any beacons. What do we need to do now? Let's have a look here. We got Rudy down here. It says 0 clues found. We have to conquer bases to unlock clues. Okay, so let's just see here, shall we? Okay, so we have we have attacked and beat a base called Test that has 128 victory points. Is that going to give us a clue? Is that going to tell us what has to happen? We have not gotten a clue. So I'm feeling a little bit dumb here. I know we have to beat Hammerman or something. So let's just beat this and see what happens. Maybe we have to do that. And now we've destroyed Dr. T threat 26. And let's see what that, maybe that's what we're doing. Is that what we're doing to get Rudy here? Still no clues. Interesting, but I am so done with this. Okay, that time I attacked an NPC and we got our next hint, clue, message. We found a message sent by Gearhart. We kept this lazy old fool. He just keeps calling me sweetheart, and we're going to start calling Gearhart sweetheart from now on, just so you know. Candlelight dinner. Has he not even heard of electric lights? Okay, is that considered clue number 8 are we at here? Clue number... Oh, look at that. That would have been smart to go to. So you do have to go about 24 hours. The search continues in 20 hours, so do check back in the Hero Hut if you're not sure when to start attacking things. Hey, there's a little bit of light on things. Quick note, I've just been destroying NPCs like a crazy person, and they don't work. So we're probably going to have to actually attack something. You can't just destroy NPCs because it won't work. So we just got to keep attacking things and keep dropping troops. And then just hope and pray that you get the next clue. Are we at it now? So that's 2 PvP and 1 NPC and War Factory that I've done today. Now let's see if taking down Code Zedmot Global #1 at rank XP 32 is going to be the one. Yes, it is. We might be getting close. Hopefully you guys can feel my despair coming through right now. This is just next level. Yes, you found it. Now, we are at clue number too many. Another 21 hours. Okay, we got it. We have Ruddero's location. I think it took 10, maybe 9 clues. But let's go. We've got a Hammerman HQ. Let's have a look. This is a new base as far as I know. I like that a lot. They got some barbed wire. They got some melon patches. We got a SEMO. We've got doom cannons and shock launchers and a super mortar. I will definitely do a tutorial on how to beat this. Don't worry at all. Shield gens involved. I like this a lot. But let's change our troops, shall we? Let's go back to that main base. We are headquarters level 24 now, which means we should max out our landing crafts. And just like that, everything is maxed. We are going to load some Rocket Choppas in here because we can get 2 per boat now. We're going to do it with no statues because why the heck not? Statues definitely would make this go better and easier and all of the rest of the things, but we're going to have a little bit of fun here. Might as well. We're going to use mechs and Rocket Choppas. Probably a terrible combo, but I just want to get something that's going to do some shocking. We've got Bullet Tick 1. We are going to upgrade him to level 10. Then we're just going to drop our troops after we spend those diamonds. I hope me searching for clues didn't put you guys off. That was next level. By the way, I want to see that MMG, that right there, 9,000. I want to see that in warships. I want it. I can't even drop all my troops. I can't even get all of the things going because we don't have enough gunboat energy. But we are going to get over here towards that doom cannon eventually as our shock bullet taunt. Just sheer ridiculousness, my friends. We are just walking through this base. Would be what I would be saying if we were actually walking through it, but we're making this look ridiculously hard. And this, my friends, is why you want to have statues when you're playing Boom Beach. Boom Beach without statues is kind of like playing warships without flares. And yes, I did a lot of that this season, but we are going to just finish this off. Let's get going. Let's speed this up. And now that that magically goes down, did you come for the deranged, undisciplined loudmouth? You can have him. He is of no use to us. And I'm not even gonna turn that on someone else. We'll just keep going, finishing it up. We get some free crystals. And finally, we get Ruddero on the main base, and he is going to have his 3 different things. We're going to upgrade him using the instant button, and you notice that we get the Seekers. So you're going to be able to see Seekers on the main base. Yes, it is going to be a thing now. We are going to quickly drop this down just so that we can see what happens. There have been some other upgrades as well, as far as things like getting 3 times mode at HQ level 1 instead of having to wait until later on. There have been a whole bunch of little changes that are being very much put in the shadow of Captain Rudy. We are going to max him right now, just constantly spending diamonds, seeing how far up we can go. And now we're just going to max out those critters because we got nothing better to do. You guys probably care about the max levels of all of these things, so I'm going to put them in the description. But for right now, we are just going to keep getting... Are we maxed? Oh, we need to go hero level 11, which apparently we can't do quite yet because I didn't have enough gold. So lots and lots and lots of tokens. So when that trader is here, make sure you get all of the tokens you can because you're going to need them in a giant way. I've been telling you that for quite a while, but it took the devs a long while to figure out where they wanted to put Rudy and when they wanted to bring him out and get all those extra events and all of the rest of it. So I know I just gave kind of a bad review of the whole unlocking process, but to be honest, I actually do really like it. It's just I don't like it trying to do it on the dev build, if that makes any sense. So we need to be headquarters level 25, I believe, to get Rudy up. So we're just going to drop some seekers here in a second. With Rudy, we're going to spend some diamonds to get all of those things loaded. And now I forgot to change my... Oh, no, I didn't forget to change my hero. So if we go like this with Dr. Captain Ruddero and we drop some seekers, he doesn't drop seekers under smoke. You guys might have already known that. I definitely did not. And now that is a long path for him to get his seeker towards that there engine room, also known as not an engine room. So seekers are making their way there, and the seekers, it seemed like, died. I'm sure I dropped some seekers. Let's just drop a smoke back on top of Rudy so we can see where those seekers actually went. Now, where did our seekers go? Are they dropped to... Are they already gone forwards and died? We need to do this on a different base. That was way too much chaos. I have lost my brain because of this entire lost craziness. Let's drop Rudy over here. Let's drop a seeker over there, and we'll fly Rudy over there. 4 seekers. Let's get 4 more seekers. Now, Rudy does not drop seekers while he's walking to a flare, which is a little bit unfortunate. There are some seekers, and they kind of just appear out of nowhere. So a decent number of seekers without statues, though, so they're not doing a heck of a lot of damage. 4 seekers at a time is way better than they were last time. I feel like they've done some balancing there. Didn't he used to just drop 1? Anyways, if you drop him at shore, he's going to drop some seekers. They're going to pop out, and they're kind of forward, so that's going to take a little bit of practice for sure. He has died, but Rudy is going to make his way to the main base is the biggest news of it all. Okay, so that is version 56 of Boom Beach. Internal dev numbers and all that, but generally the 56th build of Boom Beach, which is kind of crazy. This is something exciting. All sorts of new fixes and bug fixes and features and all of the rest of it. Season 73 is going to be very interesting, but until that time, do consider throwing code ZMOD in all Supercell sources, all of the games, all of the places, and go get it. It's going to take a couple days to get Ruddero, but once everyone does, going to be a good time. So as soon as you log in, the very first thing that I would do is go attack some bases. You want to get that timer going. I'm not sure if that's going to be a timer per person, like if everyone's going to get Rudy at the same time who has done this, or if it's based on when you clear those first, it seems like 3 bases. So do keep that going. Go attack some things. Send your submarine diving because you get that new timer over here when it's going to be done. I think somewhere they said there's a new timer for the submarine somewhere. I don't see it anywhere handy, but apparently they've changed the submarine. I don't even know where my submarine is. There used to be a way to find it, but now I don't seem to see it. So maybe you have to go up in here to find your submarine. Regardless, things are new, things are different. Go give it a shot. New Boom Beach main base getting some love. I like it a lot. Whether you're all about the Dr. T leaderboards, maybe you like Captain Ruddero, maybe you like using Rocket Choppas to clear your map. There's something for many people, and this is just the main base stuff. We don't know what they've done under the hood for warships. So do stick around, consider subscribing, let me know in the comments what you think, and most importantly, let me know what you think about the Ruddero chase. The words are escaping my brain right now because you have no idea how much time I just cut out of this video trying to show you how to get Ruddero, but we got there in the end. So maybe these are some new NPCs, these are the old NPCs designed by the peoples. Let's just drop Rudy here. We're gonna throw a smoke out front and try to drop those seekers inside the smoke so that they go past all that stuff. Would like to be able to drop seekers while he's moving, but whatever. That's neither here nor there, I suppose. So that's all. Sneak peek done. Whew, that was a lot. I'll talk to you soon. Like and share and subscribe. Comment, please, because this was perhaps my longest Boom Beach video that's in the background in like years because of that. Goose chase? What's the... Ugh, I'm so lost. I'm done. Good night. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Peace.